Okay, great Tuesday. Well, I wanted to look at this thing with this Mormon family that 9 people were killed, shot at. The car went up in flames. They shot and hit the gas tank, and the car went up in flames and lost a woman, and a bunch of children were killed in this. And then I guess there are a number of people that are also still missing and things. So I wanted to look at this because I said this is just bizarre. You know, they're saying maybe it was a case of mistaken identity with some cartels out there. So let's see what I found. Now this is, again, it's a little perplexing. So I'm going to turn this around, and cards are a bit grainy looking, but we'll see if we can get through this. Let me see if I could turn this around here. Okay, so in the center I have Devil card to represent this cartel. And it's really interesting because what came out was at the center of all this is, of course, the death of this family. Very clearly the death of this family. There had been some altercations before, and then it came to a death. So this was a bit odd. What's anchoring this is we're looking at something that's covered over, a loss, which is causing, of course, the nightmares and the drama and just a lot of pain, because there was swift. This happened very rapidly. Very swift. Retribution. And we'll look at the foundation. We have a loss. And I think this is somebody that may be involved here in the cartel. A woman that's involved in it that faced the loss and was evaluating things because she had a lot of mental spin going on about a death. Okay. And above it, what's going on now is the cartel, and we have the death, and looking back at a past. Something to do with children in the past, a death, and then looking at this family and the struggle. A struggle with the family. So I think that they are involved somewhere in some way with this cartel. Okay? Because it shows this struggle with them. Okay. So what we have above it is, again, the struggle, illegal monies, this rapid retribution, action is being taken because of an unknown, uncovered thing, okay, something that's not being revealed. So let's look at this. Again, in the center of it, we have this cartel that had taken some lumps and bumps somewhere along. There had been some death. We're looking at the death of this family. The cartel is involved in illegal monies, in illegal transactions, and I guess, somewhere here, I think that one of the people in top of this cartel is a woman that's involved in this. Okay. Again, we have an action based on some evaluation of what they have. Now, did this family, let's look at the family and see. It looks like there was a cartel and there was some struggle. Now, I don't know if the family had seen something, if they knew something, if they maybe had some sort of a altercation, maybe somebody with one of the women in the cartel before. Maybe they just pissed her off in some way, shape, or form. But there was some sort of a struggle with this. And then there was this quick action that resulted in their death. Again, there had been some altercation, it looked like, before. And this was something they were worried about. So it looks like there's something more going on than that they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because over here, when we have surrounding the death, we have this cartel, the death, and we have these children, okay? Something in the past to do with children. We have the death, what's unknown, that's hidden about why they died. Okay, we've got this thing is hidden, but the death is facing the loss. And again, some sort of, there had been some interaction and some altercations, it looks like, before. Maybe standing their ground and they had been perhaps threatened before. Okay, so let's look here in the past. Something that's covered over that had to do with an action of a death. This woman is involved, a loss of maybe her children or something in the past. We have in the center, what's going on now was again this altercation, and then it led to a death. Going forward, we had the family, dark money, okay, evaluating, and then there was this rapid reaction of this fight and this then leading to this pain and suffering later. So what we had here with the outcome of it, we have, trying to hold on to assets. A victory in holding on to assets when action was taken to rectify something, because something had been given before that caused, something had been done before the outcome which caused this wanting to take this action. Okay, so what was the action that was this loss? Well, it's interesting. We have a lot of the women here. Opportunity, the one that's got the sensitive one. We've got the one that's wanting the opportunity in the world. We've got the King of Wands, this action. So we got a lot of players in here. A lot of players, the start and the end of something. Somewhere in here, and the fool walking off the cliff, it seems like maybe this family had crossed this woman somewhere along the line. Maybe they had some kind of an altercation perhaps before, and she took this retribution. Okay. Or maybe it could be, that it was a case of mistaken identity, that they were having an interaction with these other, cartels or fighting back and forth. could have been a case of mistaken identity, but I don't think so, because it looks like they maybe had direct interaction before of some sort of a confrontation at some point in time. Okay, having to do with this illegal monies and this drug trade. Somewhere in there is something that was going on that led to this really swift happening to this family. So I don't know. It's just looking too bizarre. And it was against the whole family. Okay? Something to do with, again, children in the past. So I think there's more to this story than that just being in a mistaken identity. Maybe someone had something to do with some money thing, and they were taking some retribution. They wanted to see them face a loss. But it just feels like there was a woman involved that was in the cartel, that I don't know if she got snubbed or something, but she wanted to take some retribution somewhere. Okay. Yeah, because it's very odd, because we've got the holding on to their stuff of victory, taking action, the magician, to make this change. So they were presenting something that wasn't wanted to switch this to switch this narrative. I don't know, it could have been mistaken identity though, but it looks like it's something between the two cartels. There could be women on both sides of this, and that family got stuck in the middle of it. But it had to do with money thing, dark money things, infighting they were having. I think that these cartels had a back and forth going. And then we had this family involved. Now, it could be either that they offered for this family to do some drug deal or something, could be, or they could have gotten caught in the center of it. But yeah, there was some infighting going. Maybe they tried to make them an offer that they refused, and so they went after them. But I have to sit with this reading a little more and look at it, because it's just too... What's interesting is, again, this looking at the past, that there was something to do with death and children. Something to do with revisiting the past, children. Let me see where this goes. Woman and the children. Maybe she had faced loss of one of her children due to this other cartel, and so she was going to take retribution against them and caught this family in the middle of it instead. You see, reevaluating. Yeah, so I'm going to leave this here. This is an odd case. But I think this cartel definitely knew there were children there, and they were taking retribution against the whole of them. Now again, they could have thought that this Mormon family was a different family there, but there's something to do with this other cartel that had a loss. It looks like the loss of one of her children before. So she was going to exact revenge and make them feel the same pain that she has been feeling with the loss of her child. Okay. Because we've got her going straight up, yeah, loss. If we look at her Queen of Wands over here, let me look at this again. We have Queen of Wands here, and she has faced, if we look right here, she has faced loss and a death. And so there was a death, and she wanted to take this quick retribution because it had to do with the child. The cartel, dark money. Maybe she had a child also that was involved with it that had lost their life. Maybe not a young child, but a child, her child still the same. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here for now. But something, I mean, it was definitely, you know, it was definitely something that was planned, and this woman in this cartel, infighting maybe with this other cartel, was taking retribution. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. It'll be interesting to watch this story and see what more comes forward. I guess there were some of them that they said they may have taken some hostage as well. Some are missing. I guess there's a dozen people more missing. 9 were killed, and there's a dozen missing. So we're going to have to wait and look and see what else is going to come forward with this story. But I'm going to be watching it. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you haven't become more confused, because this is, you know, again, there are 2 ways you could read that they had caused it. And the thing that gives me pause is showing that there was a struggle with this cartel, and they are in the center of it with this money issue. Okay? So we'll see what happens with this. Thanks for tuning in. Aho.